Times now. Action begins here.
You're watching the first Newshour Debate on Times Now Super Prime Time.
Okay, let's go straight to the numbers and let's debate the numbers. Welcoming into the debate this evening, it's a big panel. Aam Aadmi Party represented by Ashish Khetan, BJP represented by Aman, Sinha, Congress represented by Sanjay, Rajagopalan, senior journalist, leans towards Mr. Modi. I make that disclosure. He leans towards Mr. Modi. He's unabashed about doing so. Arati, Jerath, senior journalist, Hartosh Singh Bal. Ajoy, Bose is also with us in New Delhi. Saba, Naqvi is joining us back. She's political editor of The Outlook. Kumar, Ketkar on our panel tonight, and Neerja, Chowdhury. It's a big panel. Let's debate. Welcome. And with me in the studio is Mrug. Now, something very interesting is happening, Jay. Yeah, something very interesting is happening. The erosion of the Congress party. This is a totally bipolar fight between two evenly poised competitors.
Absolutely.
And it appears to me, Jay, just to start off the conversation, that the delayed elections have given the Aam Aadmi Party a chance to recuperate from their Lok Sabha defeat. The decision not to contest Haryana, other states has enabled them to put all the focus on Delhi. It's beginning to pay off in those numbers.
Absolutely. And the blame squarely lies at the door of the BJP leadership.
Okay.
If they look at history, they haven't learned from it. In 1984 as well, both N.T. Ramarao and R.K. Hegde bounced back within months of facing defeats at the Lok Sabha election.
That's right.
So I think the BJP should have learned from that and gone in for an early election.
Yeah, so when you look at those changes out there, just to put it in perspective, there between February 2015, we are looking now, and November 2014. Aman, Sinha, you should have a minor heart attack when you see those figures, if you don't mind my saying so. Those figures should give the BJP a minor heart attack. You lose -7, the AAP goes +8. I mean, we have seen swings. This is a poll of polls. It's not just any one agency that's doing it. Are you going to put all the blame at Kiran Bedi's door? You seem to be losing, Mr. Sinha.
No, Arnab, let me point out.
You seem to be losing, to put it simply.
That's not the reality, Arnab.
I don't know what the reality is.
Let me point out that most of these polls that you're alluding to, they predicted 1 or 2 Lok Sabha seats maximum for BJP in Delhi in 2014 Lok Sabha elections. And what happened in reality, Arnab, when people voted, it was a 7-0 clean sweep for BJP.
So. First of all, I disagree with you, Jay. No, I disagree with Aman. Aman, it is not true. Most of the polls, most of the polls said you are doing well in Delhi.
Complete 1 minute.
No, Jay, go ahead.
These polls that you're alluding to were in the month of January and February. Towards April, the polls did give the BJP an edge.
No, he's saying towards April, I'm putting it on record, almost all polls towards April 2014 were giving the BJP an edge. So we are contradicting you on that. Yeah, please continue. Please continue, and the debate is on. And by the way, that's the graph out there.
Allow me to point out, Arnab.
Sir, look at the graph out there. I don't know if you've got a TV set next to you. From November 7th, you actually go up to a high. Around the time the Jharkhand elections are happening, right?
Absolutely.
Around the time of the Jharkhand election, you're hitting a peak. 45 out of 70 people are saying you would do a clean sweep. That's only the Modi wave. There's no Kiran Bedi factor there. The things would have been different. Arati, what do you think? Hartosh, what do you think?
Let me point out that just 2 weeks back, last fortnight, we had Delhi Cant elections, and BJP won majority in Delhi Cant, where there was a Aam Aadmi Party sitting MLA.
No, that's not.
Is it a representative of Delhi or
third in those elections?
Please don't tell me.
That is the real test, Arnab.
Sir,
and therefore we are absolutely confident of our victory.
A cantonment election is not a representation of a state. Please do not make the mistake of making that assumption. I'd let Ashish Khetan also come in. Ashish,
that's
interesting analysis.
But at least that sample survey.
Okay, let Ashish.
The cantonment voters are at least 100 times more than the sample survey of these opinion polls.
But there are maybe 1 million times less than the actual population of Delhi. The point is there is no anti-incumbency here, Ashish. So no party has an advantage. A lot depends on what happens with the Congress party eventually, whether they can play spoiler to the BJP and the AAP. Your response, Ashish, to the numbers as they are emerging, the poll prospects that the Aam Aadmi Party seems to have an edge over the BJP for the first time.
Yes, absolutely. See, Aam Aadmi Party today is seen by the people of Delhi, and that includes almost all sections of Delhi, from upper class to middle class to lower class, across all areas of Delhi, as a party that can fix the micro issues of Delhi, as a party which can deal with the day-to-day issues, which deals with the nuts and bolts of governance. As increasingly over the last 8 months, as the idea of Modi became remote, increasingly distant, as he increasingly batted away from public consciousness, over the last 8 months, Arvind Kejriwal
Therefore,
batted in.
people from
He
all over
became
country are
proximate.
voting
He became
BJP and
intimate.
Prime Minister Modi
He came
again
with
and
a-
again
let
in
me
all the
complete, please.
elections.
Let me please complete.
No, what you are saying is in absolute
Sir, let me complete.
contradiction
Please don't
to the
interrupt.
evidence
Please
of the
don't do that.
polls which are coming
Please,
out.
Sir, please don't do that, sir. Sir, please don't do that.
I am just pointing
you will
out
have
to
your
a fact.
opportunity. Please don't do that. Right?
Why?
So, as I said, sir, please don't do that.
I am entitled
What
to
I'm
point
saying
out
is
a
that
fact when
Arvind
you are
Kejriwal today
speaking
is seen as a
untruth.
man who has an agenda for governance, who has an agenda of governance, who has a definite roadmap, and is a man who comes across as somebody who is Janta ka CM, who is people's chief minister. As I said, he is one who is present among the people. You can just wave him, stop him at a red light, and have a conversation with him. People want a hands-on chief minister who can deal with the small problems of Delhi: electricity, water, corruption in government departments, efficient delivery of public services. These are the issues that are baffling almost all sections of Delhi, and they want a solution, and they only see a solution in Arvind Kejriwal.
No, that's
one. Two, over the last 8 months, the story of BJP is a story of series of tactical mistakes.
Now let me respond to my able friend.
To begin with, they didn't want an
This
election.
Janta ka CM ran away from Janta in his first Janta Darbar. He ran away to a rooftop.
Sir, please.
And therefore, thereafter abandoned all the Janta Darbars.
Sir, this is a song from the 60s. You have been singing this tune for the last 1 year.
What do you mean by 60s?
Which has been discarded.
This happened last year when Mr. Kejriwal was there in power for 49 days.
What I want to say,
it's all very good to preach, but what you are preaching is reflecting nowhere in reality.
Let's have a... Okay, you go ahead. Sir,
Neither
you go
do
ahead.
I.
You only talk when you are done, then I will...
Sir, I see. No, there's a bit of
The point
tension
that I am
between
making,
both of you.
Arnab,
Gentlemen,
is
it's only a
that
debate.
all the
Aman Sinha and Ashish
polls after
Khetan.
2014 Lok Sabha
one
elections,
second. One minute.
whether it is a Dusu poll, we had a 4-0 clean sweep.
Yeah, you see, please do not take a
Whether
draw,
it was
try
Delhi
and-
can
Aman
polls, we had a
Sinha,
clean
do not
sweep, we
try.
had a majority there.
It
So
doesn't
the
look
evidence
good.
of election results suggests that the people of Delhi are reposing their faith in BJP.
Aman, the poll of polls is showing a very different figure. You are behind the AAP by 2%. There is a continuous swing for the AAP which has happened in the last 4 to 6 weeks, especially since the Jharkhand elections. Your graph is going down. Theirs has begun to climb up. Now, my one analysis is, and I want to get the senior journalists on the panel, my question to Rajagopalan, Hartosh, Ajay, Bose, Saba, Mr. Ketkar, Neerja, all just, why don't you feel free to come in? My question is that this election is very interesting because I think the BJP is fighting with unequal weapons. You have a volunteer-based party here on the one side, and on the other side you have a cadre-based party. Ajoy, you see, the election is being fought between a strong cadre-based party and a unique volunteer-based party. So both parties have very different networks on the ground. But even the RSS is today gone, which is the base, the RSS, which is the base of the cadre of the BJP, has itself seems to not be very positive about the way this election is going. Ajoy, and to our Delhi panel, I'd like to hand it over to you on that point, please.
Yeah, I think the big difference between the BJP and AAP today is that AAP has a lot of energy on the ground, whereas the BJP really doesn't exhibit that kind of enthusiasm as AAP. And what has happened is, I think because Amit Shah and Modi sense this lack of energy, they brought in Kiran Bedi to somehow, change the thing, and somehow enthuse and adds a new dynamic to the BJP campaign. Unfortunately, what has happened is that seems to have backfired, and actually it has, instead of improving the BJP momentum, has actually created problems for the BJP. So I think what they're looking at is a real, this gamble which they took has complete...
One point. One second. We'll come to the political panelists again, but I just want to add one more possibility here. Aman, 1 minute. Aman,
these surveys itself indicate a very high rating for Kiran Bedi as Chief Minister.
Aman, just let me put this around our other panelists, because what has happened, Sanjay, and I'm not trying to rub it in with you.
Yes, please.
No, I'm just making a point to Sanjay Jha, and they can take it forward. The disappearance of the Congress party.
Okay.
The disappearance of the Congress party from the political scene of Delhi, with due respect to Ajay Makan, the BJP has increased its vote share by 5 to 6%. So the BJP is not doing badly. But there is no increase in seat share. Am I correct, Jay?
Absolutely.
Because the gains are offset with the AAP's increase at the Congress party's expense. Jay will just give one second of analysis on that.
Absolutely.
And then Sanjay can explain.
Even
again.
a pure statistical model applied to the 2013 election says that if we took 5% of Congress votes, gave them to AAP would shoot from 28 to 41 seats. And I think that is a real red signal the BJP should be seeing.
Is it voluntary? Is it a voluntary exercise? Maybe Sanjay, maybe the Congress party has realized that the best way to keep the BJP out is by, becoming invisible in Delhi. Is that the reason Rahul Gandhi is virtually not campaigning, throwing in one rally here and there? Ajay Maken has been put there. There's no systematic effort. I mean, where are your leaders? If you want to fight the elections in Delhi, why don't you put Jyotiraditya, Digvijay Singh, the entire Congress leadership out on the ground to defeat the BJP? You're not doing that. A half-hearted effort. Is there a tacit understanding between you and the AAP, Sanjay? Which is why you're putting a half-hearted effort. It appears to me Sanjay Jha does more campaigning today than the other Congress leaders. The Congress leaders don't even come out of their houses to 24 Akbar Road.
Yes, you're right.
What is the reason for this?
Well,
please confess. What is the reason for this, Sanjay? Are you deliberately helping the AAP?
I'm just answering your question. Ever since the Delhi elections have been announced, the entire media spotlight has been on
Don't
BJP
blame
and
the
AAP,
media.
And we have no problem with that.
Don't blame the media.
I'm
That's
saying
rubbish.
there is, at the moment as we talk, there is an ugly soap opera and a slugfest going on between the BJP and the AAP.
So
and I think
why are you
anyone
not
on your
campaigning?
Panel, any
Tell the
analyst
people.
on your panel
Why are you not
who
campaigning?
underestimates the Congress does so at their own peril.
No, sir.
let me
Why
tell
are you
forgot
decimating
Mr.
yourself?
Rahul Gandhi in his speech. Mr. Rahul Gandhi in his speech talked about the Nolakha suit of Narendra Modi, which has gone viral all over the world at the moment. Everyone is talking
Sanjay
about
Jha.
Mr. Modi's very famous
Sanjay
suit.
Jha.
How does he know what was the suit worth of?
No, one second.
Did he wear that suit earlier?
Look
What are you saying?
Look at Kiran Bedi, look at Arvind Kejriwal, and look at Ajoy Maken. You have a proven performer, a capable administrator with ministerial experience.
No, 1 second.
Two untried,
It doesn't add up.
people.
It doesn't add up.
Voted away in 49
It doesn't add up.
The other party which has been a disaster for Delhi.
No.
For the last 8 months, rape incidents in Delhi have gone up. Delhi has gone absolutely backwards from the time.
No, you've not answered my question, Sanjay. You're not answering my question. My question is... No, you're not answering the question. I'm asking you a question.
1 week, Arnab, you see the actual results.
No, 1 second. One second. An accusation. I would like to accuse Sanjay Jha of not answering the question, but I think our panelists in Delhi also would like to make an observation there. Saba first, and Mr. Rajagopalan, Arati, please free to come in. Navika. Yeah.
Sanjay, I went there as a reporter to Trilokpuri,
yes,
where the BJP and the AAP were very much in the campaign. I went to the Congress office. It was empty. And then a guy came running and he grinned at me and said, "Madam, sab kya kare, lekin sab campaign pe gaye." It was an amazing thing. There was no one in the Trilokpuri Congress office.
Why?
So let's be clear. On the ground, the Congress is missing. And about AAP, I want to say one thing, Arnab. What is changed? What is changed? No, Sanjay, let me finish.
I read your article
Sanjay,
in the Outlook magazine
Sanjay,
that you're quoting right now.
Yes,
Saba,
please, let me finish.
Saba, 1 minute. There are 70.
No, let me finish what I'm saying.
Don't
allow me. You talk so much.
If Ajay Maken is leading the campaign, I can assure you, you're a seasoned political analyst. You should know that the Congress is throwing everything at this moment.
That is why I know. We are
the party that transformed Delhi in 15 years.
Allow me to finish.
And we intend to take that forward.
No, I don't think the Congress is... I just
want to say about the AAP campaign has changed in the last week. Because people who kept on, when this election began, people kept on saying, Didi, ye BJP hi jeetegi. Now they're saying, nahi, aap jeet rahi hai. So the minute you look like a winner, more and more people head to you. So a certain floodgate has opened up. There has been a change in the chemistry in areas, in unauthorized colony, in the slums, because AAP is beginning to look like a winner.
Exactly. Arti, and Navika, please. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Arnab, this is a very tightly contested election. But I stuck my neck out, if you remember, in 2013, and I'm going to stick my neck out tonight on your panel. This is not a photo finish. this is heading for a landslide victory for Aam Aadmi Party. If the voices on the ground, the sentiment is just growing, what Saba is saying, I'm amplifying that. Everywhere, all you hear is people talking about Aam Aadmi Party. And of course, there is a very clear class divide because it is as Times of India said, 60% of Delhi earns
Arnab, I will have to respond now.
rupees and less. And it is that class that is voting for Aam Aadmi Party, that class that will come out on voting day. And I think that you will see that surge for Aam Aadmi Party on voting day.
Arati, I'm only analyzing the numbers, and in fact, I'm not good enough. Jay is better than me looking at these numbers. But what I see here, Navika, and Navika can come in on this, she has more experience on this. You see, you have a triangular contest, Navika, that's damn good for the BJP. A pure triangular contest. Now, that triangular contest is slowly becoming a two-way fight. In this contest, this poll of polls is showing 1.7% more for Aam Aadmi Party. 1.7% lead for Aam Aadmi Party, Navika, is giving them a simple majority. Now, suppose instead of 1.7%, it becomes a 4% lead or a 5% lead. Then the calculations Jay puts become, then Jay's calculations begin to work. One second.
Very much.
Let me give the range.
Let Jay explain the range.
Let me give the range.
There's a mathematics
I will give you from a historical precedent.
Yeah.
In a two-way fight, okay, we'll go just back to December 2013. In Chhattisgarh, Arnab, the BJP and the Congress were apart by only 0.75%, 0.75. Yet the BJP got a simple majority. They won 49 on 90. Now, in a two-cornered fight, almost a bipolar fight, if there's a 4 or 5% gap, it should easily mean something close to a 60 or 62
You see, the
majority.
problem here is, and Navika would know this, if BJP hasn't learned from history. Twice before, you change a face before the elections, you fail. Sushma Swaraj was changed before 1998, they failed. I think Uttarakhand, Navika, Khanduri, 2012 was changed again. It failed. Right? Last minute change of face has never worked for the BJP. Yes, Navika.
BJP, Arnab, last time when
but in fact we gained
One
on
second,
ground.
Aman, let Navika
I don't agree with that perception.
It was Harshvardhan.
Yes.
It was Harshvardhan who actually led the BJP to a more advantageous position of 32 seats compared to the Aam Aadmi Party's 28. Now, what has happened? Harshvardhan has been completely sidelined in the union cabinet. His son hasn't been given a ticket in Krishnanagar. The fact is Harshvardhan is completely out of the picture. A new, as the Aam Aadmi Party says, a new imported candidate is brought in. There is a virtual backlash in the party. The timing is all wrong as far as the BJP is concerned. And really, when Aman Sinha from the BJP actually begins to count the elections of DU to actually show how well the BJP is showing, clearly it shows that the BJP is suffering from a lack of confidence at this point in time. And
everybody is saying this.
Arnab, sometimes I fail to understand.
Aman, one sec, Kumar, I just want to get everyone...
Let me point out,
Aman,
I did not want to go into specific name calling.
Aman, I just want to get everyone to come in and then, because everyone's being very polite on the program tonight. Everybody is waiting for their turn. Maybe because I'm not sitting in the Delhi studios. But I just want to get everybody their turn. I'm sure
you will respond. They are all getting inspired by you, Arnab,
Mr. Ketkar, the BJP...
That's better.
Mr. Rajagopalan, are you okay? Are you feeling well?
But you don't give me time. You don't give me time. You are asking everyone AAP support. Where is AAP support, Arnab?
With the numbers, Mr. Rajagopalan, in the numbers, the BJP was actually... Okay, Mr. Rajagopalan, I think I haven't had a joust with you for some time.
Why Kejriwal is saying about EVM?
Mr.
You are talking about only AAP.
Mr.
You don't discuss about BJP.
Sir,
you don't discuss about BJP.
Mr. Rajagopalan, you've been on...
BJP is all the time, Mr. Modi is all the time.
BJP and you don't ask me now.
Mr. Rajagopalan, Mr. Rajagopalan, I'm asking you, since you want to be asked here today, and it's okay, you are on the defensive today a little bit, but let me explain to you why.
Are we on February 10th? Are we on February 10th? You are discussing that results now?
Sir, I'm not discussing the results.
You had time, sir. You yourself said photo finish.
Sir,
You yourself said photo finish. So
sir,
wait and watch.
Sir, I don't want to...
My assessment, Arnab,
sir,
the voting figure is 65%. If voting figure, if Jay Mrug also should vouchsafe for me, if voting percent between 65 and 70 takes place, You take it for granted BJP is forming the government.
What? Why? How does that hold?
Okay.
Mr. Rajagopalan, I don't understand that. The BJP was actually
Because
leading.
of the voting percentage, Arnab.
That's all right. People may turn out. How do you say the AAP voters won't turn out?
I'll tell you why Mr. Rajagopal has that. Arnab, I'll give you his analysis. No, 1 second. I'll tell you, Mr. Rajagopal, what the BJP is saying. They're saying the AAP voters are the less prosperous people of Delhi.
You know, Congress workers are asking for voting for BJP.
No.
They don't want AAP there.
No.
At least in 10 constituencies.
Clearly the support base of the BJP and the AAP is such, Arnab, that the lower classes actually come out and vote, and they will vote for Aam Aadmi Party. The BJP has a challenge on its hand because the middle classes is the support base of the BJP, and they normally
from
don't come out and vote.
Situation is changed, Arnab.
How?
From yesterday and day before yesterday.
You see, I think one should. Mr. Rajagopalan, 1 minute.
I am saying 70% vote.
Mr. Rajagopalan.
70% voting figure means.
Mr. Rajagopalan, there is Hartosh Singh Bal, and just because Hartosh has. Can I please let Hartosh come in 1 second? I feel that you can't silence Hartosh just because the absolute gentleman waiting there for his turn. You can't do that to Hartosh. There he is on the side. Hartosh,
Yeah, let him speak, please.
Yeah, here also.
Yeah, Neerja also. Look at Neerja. I've been trying to find out where you were. Thank you very much. And Ashish is thinking tonight that where is the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party have to wait for their turn. Fact is, my question goes to Hartosh and to Neerja. You see where the BJP is bungling is. You have the elections in November, you would have swept Delhi. The BJP was actually leading and comfortably past the halfway mark in November. Despite a nearly 10% increase in its vote share, the Aam Aadmi Party lost seats. The BJP appeared to be in the lead, Neerja, despite not having a chief ministerial candidate. So everything, Neerja, was working for the BJP in November. So obviously the question here, Neerja and Hartosh, is about timing, purely timing. They got the timing wrong and they got Kiran Bedi wrong. That's their blunder.
I think that's, Hartosh, are you taking it or shall I?
Go ahead, Neerja, then I'll follow up.
Two points I want to make, Arnab. One, yes, I think Kiran Bedi has turned out to be counterproductive. That's point number one. That's because of the resentment in the party, but it's also that many people see her as the Thanedar, and they don't want a police person. Many people have said this.
Yeah.
So she's not clicked as the party brass had expected.
Right.
But look at, I go to, I went to this Trilokpuri meeting of Arvind Kejriwal this evening, and having covered and seen elections for the last over 35, 36 years, you learn to recognize an audience that's dead, an audience that's live, an audience that's average. Today's audience was live. It was hanging on every word of Kejriwal, responding to every sentence. The way they were shouting. It reminded me of the meetings that VP Singh addressed in 1987 when he broke out of the Congress. The kind of stampede and that makes me think, is it that the mood in the country now is changing vis-a-vis the BJP? I thought it was that the BJP did not have a leadership face that convinced people versus Kejriwal, a leadership face in AAP. But does the phenomenon go beyond that? And the fact that the BJP has to bring in 120 MPs, 22 union ministers, when it won all the 7 Lok Sabha seats only 8 months ago, and 282 as a national level, for the party to have to do that is an admission that things are not clicking, and for the RSS to give that word of caution that you spoke about a little while ago.
Yeah.
So what I would be interested to know is the mood in Delhi reflective of something more than just an election.
Yeah, and added to that, added to that is another point which I'd like Kumar Ketkar. I'm really sorry to come to you so late. We have a lot of panelists tonight. We're shuffling the deck, but I'd just like to go to Hartosh and then to Kumar. Coupled with that, there is no anti-incumbency, Hartosh. You see, wherever the BJP has been doing well, that has been doing well with a strong tailwind of anti-incumbency. There is no clear anti-incumbency in Delhi. So maybe that's one of the reasons. Hartosh.
Sure. No, Arnab, all these questions, the change of face, no anti-incumbency, does not address the central issue of these elections. In November, the BJP was ahead. In state after state, a lackluster candidate backed by the figure of Modi was working for the BJP. Why is the Modi mystique no longer pulling in the votes? Why has Delhi not responded to Modi? Why was the BJP forced to take these steps despite the Obamas, despite the Republic Days, despite the Modi pitch? For some reason, the Modi mystique in Delhi is fading, and that, I think, is the issue we have to focus on.
I think that is something the BJP would also look at. Kumar Ketkar, please, before I come to Kumar Ketkar, because the BJP's margin. The BJP's. No, I am coming back to you.
Ashish and Aman.
The BJP's margin started tapering down and then has had a steep fall.
Because all allegations are on BJP.
Sir, these are not allegations, these are observations.
Times now. Action begins here.
Why do you call an observation an allegation? The observation is, and I'd like to go to Kumar Ketkar, that the BJP's margin, allow me to complete, sir, the BJP's margin had started tapering down from the wide gap that existed in the Lok Sabha elections. And now you are in this Salvage Rescue Act situation. There is like a, if these numbers are any proof to be true, or the sentiment that Neerja and, Hartosh and all are talking about is true, then there is a bit of a cliffhanger situation here, which the BJP is going to think about. Yes, Kumar Ketkar, and then back to the debate. Yes, please. Mr. Ketkar. Can you hear me, Mr. Ketkar? Please go ahead.
Anti-incumbency of the central government had affected all the states, and all of us on the panel agreed that anti-incumbency vote against the central government led by Dr. Manmohan Singh was affecting the votes in the states. Now the anti-incumbency against Modi personally and anti-incumbency against the NDA government and the inertia that BJP is suffering from has created a fourth force in the election, and that is the disgruntled elements of the BJP. And that invisible force of the BJP cadre, which is completely disgruntled, is actively or passively working against their own candidates. And therefore, BJP is a house divided, just as Congress was a house divided before. Congress looks completely invisible because BJP's disgruntled element and BJP's disgruntled element is helping Kejriwal. BJP is a divided house. BJP ministers may have come there, BJP MPs may have come there, BJP leaders from Bihar and UP may have come there, but actually that is a house divided. They are fighting against each other. Neither Modi nor Modi factor will work.
Gentlemen, one second, Mr. Rajagopalan.
In fact, we have to recognize that BJP is divided far too sooner. BJP is divided far too sooner than the thought of divided.
No, one second to my Delhi panelists, please. To my Delhi panelists, please, only because I'm separated from you today physically. Therefore, I will please appeal today if you can not speak over each other. No, point is, the question is what? Why don't you address the critical question? Critical question is, was there overconfidence? Simple. Ajay, Bose, Arati, Jerath, overconfidence because
Arnab, of course there was overconfidence.
I'll quickly take this forward.
Of course there was overconfidence.
Ajay Bose.
Yeah, but please let us not overread the Delhi impending defeat for the BJP. I think I have met so many people in Delhi who still say that they are supporters of Mr. Modi at a national level, but will vote for Kejriwal in Delhi.
Okay.
So let us not overread the situation for the BJP today.
In
Delhi, the BJP is facing a serious problem, but that does not mean that at a national level there is any really challenge.
My question is to let's go back to the political panelists. No, 1 minute. I'll come back to you. I'd like to go back to Sanjay Jha, Ashish Khetan and Aman Sinha. Sanjay Jha, Ashish Khetan and Aman Sinha. First question is, Ashish Khetan, there are now this big analysis which is happening on where the BJP probably went wrong or did not go wrong. My own view is, if I can add my view on that, is that the Congress party had already started faltering. The BJP should have seen the writing on the wall. The BJP was having one success story after another. By the end of Jharkhand, BJP appears to be this unstoppable political force. Did it overestimate its possibility, of consolidating voters and taking even Congress voters away to the BJP and not realizing that the Congress voters could move to the Aam Aadmi Party? I'd like to see Ashish's reading on that, coming back to you after that. Ashish?
Yeah. See, what you are discussing, Arnab, is a series of tactical mistakes that Bharatiya Janata Party made. And that started with soon after the Lok Sabha election results came in. They didn't go for an early election. They wanted to engineer defections within the Aam Aadmi Party, and somehow they wanted to form the government through the back door. And that backfired, and finally they were compelled to dissolve the assembly under the strictures of the Supreme Court. That's one. That's a separate story. The second story is that today Aam Aadmi Party represents the broadest social coalition in Delhi.
Words in the mouth of Supreme Court. It was the Aam Aadmi Party who went to the Lieutenant Governor saying that they want some time to explore the possibilities of government formation.
Please let me complete. Okay,
you come out with an absolutely fabricated fact, and you want me to listen to it patiently.
No.
You are saying something, you are putting something in the words of Supreme Court.
One second. One minute. It's his analysis.
The fact of the matter is that it was Aam Aadmi Party which went to Lieutenant Governor saying that they want some time to explore the possibility of government.
Aman, you know, I know, the world knows that if you wanted an election in Delhi, Mr. Aman Sinha, if you wanted an election in Delhi, you could have had it whenever you wanted, before or after May 16, for God's sake, for crying out loud. You were in power in Delhi, you can call an election in July.
No.
August, September, November. You didn't call the election, and fine, you disagree with the observation, let him complete. I'll come back to you, Aman Sinha. You can quickly rebut him as much as you want. One second.
Can I finish my point?
Let him complete. Ashish, complete quickly. Ashish, complete quickly.
There have to be reasonable efforts of government formation.
Okay, fine. Don't look back in the past. Ashish, complete quickly.
Has a reason to vote for Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party today represents the broadest social coalition. So you have the middle class, the upper middle class. They want a chief minister which can give them a government that is corruption free, because they want the delivery of services without paying a bribe. They want to deal with DDA, MCD, the police without paying a bribe. And also there is a small section which wants check and balance. They don't want to see the concentration of power in just one hand. That's another section. Then there is a substantial section that doesn't see a conflict between the idea of Modi and the idea of Arvind Kejriwal. They believe that that both can coexist, that Arvind Kejriwal can, as I had mentioned at the start of the debate, can deal with micro issues. Arvind Kejriwal is a 24/7 chief minister, would be a 24/7 hands-on chief minister. He understands Delhi. He understands what are the problems of Delhi. And then there are lower classes, there are other sections, the marginalized sections, who believe that Arvind Kejriwal can fix the health and education sector. Arvind Kejriwal can provide women's security. Arvind Kejriwal can stop the loot of the Bijli companies. And this is a big issue. Because as far as the rising power tariffs go, every section in
okay, now Ashish, fine. We'll get Sanjay Jha back.
Needs to be audited.
No, we'll...
Power companies need to be audited.
No, that's okay. You're giving the whole... Ashish, now you can... Ashish, taken your turn. Ashish,
not only for,
Ashish, my question was not that. My question was not that. My question was the Congress party was faltering. Accept it, Ashish, and Sanjay will... If the Congress party was really fighting, you want to fight an election, Sanjay, fight an election. Don't pretend, for God's sake. Don't pretend you're fighting an election, Sanjay. Tell the people you're not fighting the election. For whatever strategic reason, but don't pretend, Sanjay. You are pretending you're fighting an election.
Today, where Congress and BJP are in cahoots.
No, Congress does not exist. What cahoots? Congress is not fighting the election.
Are in cahoots. They are supporting each other because they have just one agenda to stop Arvind Kejriwal.
No, one sec, Sanjay, please. Sanjay,
you made a government together for 49 days, which presented the worst model of governance for people of Delhi.
Can you be quiet for a minute so that we can answer the question? Okay, Arnab, to answer your question in very simple terms. please do not, kind of ignore the reality that one reason why Mr. Sheila Dikshit's government lost in Delhi was because there was a huge anti-UPA sentiment at the center. There was a repercussion, the ramifications of that negativity did rub off on the Delhi performance. And Arnab, I'm telling you this, these are not wrong statistics. If at our lowest we were around 24% last year, around the same time, or let's say December 2013, it's very, very reasonable for us to expect that we will be doing better than that. And the second point, I disagree with Ajoy Bose, that if the vote in Delhi today looks to be going anti-BJP compared to what they were expecting, that is symptomatic of a larger disillusion of the urban middle class with the non-performance or the underperformance of this government. Don't ignore that the Sakshi Maharaj, the whole communal environment that we've been talking about on your Newshour debates over the last 8 months.
No, may I respond now? Can you be quiet now?
They are upsetting those people, the young people of India who voted on the so-called aspirational spin that Mr. Modi very craftily exploited through his political
No, young people of India are mostly upset with Rahul Gandhi and
Sanjay. I think the Sikhs are now coming home to roost. And whether AAP benefits or the Congress benefits, but the BJP is definitely on a downslide.
No, but what is the national implication? My question is...
Arnab, now I will have to come in, please.
Aman, briefly, then I go across to the Delhi panel.
We are all drawing sweeping conclusions on basis of some opinion polls which have
put the numbers on the screen again.
In Lok Sabha elections, these are the same opinion polls which gave 0 seat to BJP.
We put the numbers on the grid, please.
And no, please allow me to point out that Mr. Yogendra Yadav's internal survey itself...
You're completely wrong. You don't know your facts.
Which poll? Which poll? Please tell me. No.
Well, I can tell you,
ABP poll gave 1 seat to BJP.
That we were
observing
all the polls.
This kind of grossly incorrect remark only Mr. Sanjay Jha could have made. Now, please allow me to say that Aam Aadmi Party's own internal survey is rating them lower than the previous assembly elections. In last assembly elections, Mr. Yogendra Yadav internal surveys gave them 50 plus seats. Now they are, giving them somewhere around 40 plus seats.
Ashish Khetan, Aman, 1 second. Ashish rebutting you.
Are weaker than what they were in
Ashish rebutting you.
Assembly election.
Ashish rebutting you.
Aman, please. Aman, please don't, state something which could be easily verified right now in 2 minutes, because any viewer who would be watching this broadcast would go on Google and find out that Yogendra Yadav has put out his internal surveys where he is giving 45 seats to Aam Aadmi Party, and he has clearly spoken of the reasons why he believes today there is a wave of Aam Aadmi Party, and he believes that he won't be surprised if Aam Aadmi Party wins more than 50 seats.
So how many seats are you giving now?
Anybody who's listening to you would go on Google,
what is your present assessment?
would go on Facebook and you would easily find that what you are saying is not right.
He gave 45 seats and you came up with 29 or 28. So who was lying was Mr. Yogendra Yadav. And who was incorrect was Mr. Yogendra Yadav. When I am telling you that consistently after Lok Sabha elections, BJP has been winning all the polls. Where the electorate size is at least 100 times more than your sample surveys, you are not prepared to believe it. I am talking about the vote of people of Delhi which counts.
What I am saying,
whether it was Dusu elections, whether it was Delhi Cant Board elections, whether it was Shuta elections. That is what I am talking about. I am not talking about your internal surveys or your sample size of 3,000 in an electorate of 1.25 crores.
And you are discussing something that happened way back in the past.
I am discussing I am mentioning to you the results of Delhi Cant which have come out one fortnight back.
Bharatiya Janata Party as reactionary,
which has come out one fortnight back.
You are reactionary. You have been reacting on every issue. We have
do not want any certificate from you.
We said you don't have a CM phase.
We know how you have been trying to divert these issues.
We said that we have an action plan. You said you don't have.
No, the difficulty is that Aam Aadmi Party wants to deflect from the real issues which are confronting
No, the real issue is that you wanted a personality election. Aman Sinha, 1 minute.
Money laundering cases.
Aman Sinha, 1 minute.
And they want to deflect it and divert it.
I'd like to go back to the panelists in Delhi. Fact is, Navika, the BJP, let's go back to Navika and her panel out there. The BJP wanted a personality election. They're the ones who want to look at the numbers on the chief ministerial sweepstakes, whether you see the HT1, the ET1 or the APP1. Kejriwal is way ahead with anywhere between 48 to 54%, and Bedi is middling despite the BJP backing between 37 and 40%. So the Bedi is not helping the BJP pull additional voters. Kejriwal has begun to lead very comfortably.
That's the whole problem for
very
the BJP.
Comfortably.
Arnab, that's the whole problem for the BJP, that they actually came out. They needed to cushion Narendra Modi. It was becoming a Narendra Modi versus Arvind Kejriwal fight. They needed to cushion Narendra Modi from that fight, because Kejriwal was showing the greater traction as far as numbers are concerned. So because of that, Kiran Bedi was brought in, and now the BJP brings up this entire theory that they've gone with faces in the past, whether it was Vasundhara Raje or whether it was Raman Singh or Shivraj Singh Chauhan. But these were all incumbent chief ministers who were fighting for second term.
And then also,
in the first term, the BJP had actually gone in without a face in Jharkhand, in Maharashtra, as well as in
Can I say
I think Arati.
We needed a buffer, and Kiran Bedi hasn't worked.
Yes, Arati.
Yeah.
Can I supplement that?
Arati, and after that, Saba, after Arati, I'll come to you.
It is important. Yeah. I think, Arnab, it is very important to understand the context in which the BJP won all those elections in 2014. The context was a very strong anti-incumbency
wave
that ran through. That's right. That ran through the Lok Sabha elections, ran through the Maharashtra elections, ran through the Haryana elections, Jharkhand elections, and the Jammu and Kashmir elections. This is the first election in which the Congress is not in the frame at all.
Yeah.
And the BJP is faced with a local leader who seems to have captured local imagination. That's why the dynamics of the Delhi election are so different to the elections last year.
Yeah, so
and I think the BJP completely miscalculated
No,
this.
you see, and the biggest point. Yes, and Saba, I just want to add one point before that. I want to get Jay in. Saba, I'm coming to you. Besides that, the BJP's biggest accusations against Arvind Kejriwal was that he's a bhagoda, that he ran away in 49 days. Now, Kejriwal has repeatedly apologized for quitting, something that seems to have cut some ice. And on top of it, AAP has not personally attacked Bedi, whereas the BJP has more than personally attacked Kejriwal. So you see the BJP, being more reactive, and the Aam Aadmi Party being a little bit more collected in its response. It's a different AAP from the one which fought the last election. Yes, Jay.
But it's a different AAP, and I think the BJP has not learnt from numbers. Even look at the Jharkhand election. Let's go to a very interesting statistic.
Sure.
In 2014 Lok Sabha, the BJP polled 40% of the vote in Jharkhand. In the 2014 Vidhan Sabha, the party got only 30%. It lost 10%.
That's true. But there was no competitor.
Absolutely. Now with the competitor, why can't you lose 10 or more and around and give it to your competitor?
So when you actually, so this simple analysis is, you have strong anti-incumbency and a splintered opposition, it works.
Absolutely.
You have a united opposition and no anti-incumbency, the BJP gets into trouble, and on top of that you have a face there who is aggressive and a volunteer base, then the BJP can be given a real fight. Okay, that's interesting analysis. Yes, Saba, I stopped you there.
Of the BJP also,
Saba, Neerja,
write off the cadre base of the BJP.
Yes.
If as political analysts we write off the cadre base of the BJP, we'll be making a huge error. So don't put out the cadre of the BJP, which will come out in full strength.
Understood.
Photo finish is what we can talk about. Don't give up on the cadre of the BJP.
No, 1 second. We are nobody to give up, but the point. Yes, Saba.
Ever since Mr. Modi won that simple majority after so many years, the BJP's own internal model of state leadership has been changed. Because they came through strong state leaders and they decided that Mr. Modi was his overarching supreme leader. So they had non-entities in Haryana. They had a non-entity in Maharashtra. They clearly thought they will go with the same model because they have this all India supreme leader figure in Mr. Modi. And when that proved, now the problem with that whole experiment when it came to Delhi was, even at that time in December last year, if we remember that, Arvind Kejriwal's rankings, he was being covered by the international media. So he always had the ability to be a face. But clearly the party, Aam Aadmi Party, did not have the structure. They made a mistake in fighting all over India. This time they come back here. So here you had a personality.
Okay, so Neerja and
you have another personality.
No, what's it? Neerja. No, let's get a quick one. Neerja, yes. Neerja. Let's keep it quickly, please. Neerja.
Arnab, you know, we must not forget that in the Lok Sabha elections of May 2014, the Aam Aadmi Party increased their vote share by 3%, even as they lost in all the 7 Lok Sabha seats. And since then, minorities have gravitated to them in larger numbers than either in May 2014 or December 2013. And so have the farmers in the outer Delhi seats in the Dehat area. So, plus the upper classes, there's a section which has been worried about the love jihad and these extreme noises that have been emanating from the BJP leaders. And there is a section in the middle class also which is today saying, you know, he's accepted his mistakes for quitting, therefore let's give him another chance. So all this put together is what is giving the momentum to
Okay, but again caveat. No, what's Ashish Khetan?
You know, let's not forget the cadre base of the BJP.
Ashish wants to say something quickly. Before that, after that I have to go to Hartosh and Kumar Ketkar before closing. Yes, please.
See, I just want to say, just want to sum it up. The only strategy that the BJP had going into this election was to constantly abuse Arvind Kejriwal. They projected him as Naxal, as an anarchist, and above all as a quitter. Now that word quitter has not been accepted by the people of Delhi, not by the middle class, not by any other section.
You also abused
that this guy is a fighter. Sir, please let me finish.
Mr. Khetan,
that he's a fighter. That he's battling out in the streets of Delhi. He's standing up for the people of Delhi. He is talking about corruption, inflation, electricity tariff. He is taking up the issues that matter to the people on a day-to-day basis. So that didn't work. And increasingly, as BJP was failing in its strategy, they escalated this personality war. The Prime Minister, I think, diminished his stature the day when he called Arvind Kejriwal all kinds of things, and that didn't stop at that. After that, it was just a downward spiral for the BJP.
So this, in retrospect,
a huge slugfest.
In retrospect, therefore, in retrospect, therefore, Ashish and Hartosh, Hartosh and then Kumar Ketkar, did the BJP make a mistake by making Kejriwal the issue? Kejriwal cartoons, Kejriwal speeches, Kejriwal attack.
Of course, I think they were reacting to the numbers. They did not have a coherent strategy going into these elections. One, they saw that the old model, as Saba was saying, of a non-entity backed by Modi was not enough to win these elections, which is why they have a problem going forward. Nobody is saying that the Modi mystique has disappeared nationally, but you don't have a national election till 2019. You have to fight state elections one after the other. And in states like Uttar Pradesh, where you don't have a face, and if you can't entirely bank on Modi to deliver, then what are you going to do? And Bihar. These are the two most crucial elections coming.
Ajoy da.
Absolutely. I personally feel that the entire strategy of the election was guided by somehow attacking Kejriwal personally and not at all trying to contest issues. So the whole thing got very badly personalized, and that is why they put in Kiran Bedi. But tell me something, Arnab, when have you heard before somebody joining the party and 2 days later becoming the chief ministerial candidate? I do not think in the history of Indian politics,
especially
when
the person
example of somebody who's just joined politics and then become the chief ministerial candidate.
It appears to be a knee-jerk reaction, and that may cost them. Last word to Kumar Ketkar. But I'd say I agree with Navika, it's not closed yet. The BJP's ability to do, to manage the voters on the day of the election, to get them out to vote, cannot be underestimated either. They have a huge experience in running a poll day machinery, and that is what worked for them in UP. So the Aam Aadmi Party obviously will have to be careful on that front. Kumar Ketkar.
Nor can you underestimate the volunteer. Nor can you underestimate the volunteer base of Aam Aadmi Party.
Yes, Kumar Ketkar. BJP machinery.
To pull in the votes who want to vote for Aam Aadmi Party.
It's an interesting fight, Ashish.
Base of 30,000
Ashish, trust me as a journalist, it is a fascinating fight.
On the ground, campaigning.
As journalists,
booth to booth.
Journalists like to report on an election contest like this.
Our volunteers today
because it can't be read till the last minute.
Of purpose.
Yes, please, Kumar Ketkar.
There is coherence. There is sense of purpose.
Well,
Arnab, common shared goal.
Arnab, that distinction which you made between volunteer and cadre is extremely important. Volunteer is a spirited person and cadre is a directed person. And further to that, I agree with Arati that there is a class divide, but not only class divide, but also middle class divide. The middle class, which was so enamored and mesmerized by the so-called Modi magic, now is going away. And it's not a question of mere anti-incumbency, it's also a question against Modi. And not only them, but even the BJP, the middle class that BJP represented, even that middle class is tired completely of Modi or getting tired of Modi, and therefore they are also walking away. So it's a BJP divide, it's a middle class disillusionment, it is anti-incumbency against Modi, and it is primarily AAP which is garnering the vote from Congress.
The story is not over till it's over.
It is like Mr. Smith goes to Washington. It is like Mr. Smith goes to Washington film of Frank Capra, James Stewart. That same James Stewart story, Frank Capra film, Mr. Smith goes to Washington, Mr. Kejriwal is going to Delhi.
Okay, let's see. But the story is not over till it's over. When I come back on the other side, I'm going to tell you how Mrug was doing the analysis, giving the AAP a possibility of 40 plus seats. That's a month back. I'm going to talk about that on the other side.